I was singing then and didn't even add myself in. Hello and welcome to Dan's Bluecast. I was singing in the background. Just going to drop the banner on now and match reaction. Hope you all here. Get in the comments, get involved, and we will go through the game. You know how we do it. We do it a day later. Allow us all to calm down, take things in, and it's better this way. So I've got him here. I've got him. I would hate to say I haven't. Here he is, the main man, Paul. How you doing?
I'm not too bad. Nice Easter.
Yeah, a little dance and stuff like that in the morning. Put a dance video out there. Keep everyone positive. Yeah. Get the vibes good for Easter.
Full of chocolate.
I was just looking on the comments and seeing if the comments have come up. Yeah, loads of chocolate in the morning. Feel sick and then can't eat much food the rest of the day. That's how it goes, isn't it? Here we go. Sup, fellas. The Blues is here. I was just waiting for them to come in. I've dropped it unorganised last minute. But I'm going to do it the night after. The Blues, how you doing? You all right? Looking forward to going through this with you. Pop in the comments. Let us know you're here. So, Paul, we'll get this straight in. How are you feeling after this game? Do we have a little freeze there? I'm dropping back in. People in the comments just coming in now. Drop your comments on when you come in.
Yeah. It was, we were all felt as though from to actually do it.
This is where we're going to have to lift the people up here. All right, Prince Rupert. All right, Dan and Paul, shambolic performance yesterday. I know there's a lot of people really down, and I don't think we should get too down. It happens with us at the minute, and I've seen it all over my Twitter, and everyone's entitled to feel how they feel. And I just feel it's massive not to make more of it than what you should. It was a poor performance. It was, and we'll talk a bit about it now, but it was a poor performance, but we'll try and go through this and hopefully stick with us by the end of the channel. We'll make you feel a bit better because that's what we've got to do as Evertonians. We've got to keep ourselves feeling good because as players, they need to stay feeling good to perform good. And as fans, we need to stay feeling good to get behind them. And that's just how it is. How do you think we come out then, Paul? People in the comments as well. How did you feel when we come out?
A little surprised. From our lineups on Friday, there was an option that we talked about with Sims coming in and Gray playing wide for us, who will be going in the middle. One sort of worry that maybe we had was that we didn't particularly want to change the partnerships that we had working down the lines. So Coleman had been working well with Iwobi. McNeil had been working well with Godfrey. And that obviously changed a little bit. It looked as though we were playing 4-4-1-1, if you like, because actually Iwobi did seem in parts of the game to go out to the right-hand side, and Gray seemed to be the man behind Sims. And so that left us a little bit shy in the middle, Garner and Onana trying to do it themselves. You could see that Decore was missed. But we're also going up against the side that are banging form. They've only lost one game at home all season, drawn 2, won the rest. So still trying to be positive about it.
He makes me laugh. He does. You never know what he's doing. He's probably running around still looking for the lost Easter egg over for Everton. Don't worry, we're just happy you're here. No, I agree with you, and I don't know. And tell me what you think in the comments. I don't know what a formation was. I really don't know what it was, because at times it felt like it was a 4-5-1 with Gray on the wings, which a few of you asked for in the comments. At times it felt like that. And then at other times it felt like Iwobi had moved over to right wing and it was a 4-4-2. And which other people had asked for in the comments. I don't know what it was. And I think it was a very confusing formation, because it's just like our players ain't bright enough, are they, for them to be rotating who's playing right back. It's just not good, is it, on these players? Like for Iwobi sometimes to be playing right back and then Gray sometimes to be playing right back and Iwobi to move in. It's confusing just for us to even talk about, never mind for them to do.
Yeah, and I think the thing was that if Sims was coming in, like 1 or 2 people were saying that they wanted, Sims's job was to hold the ball up so we could move up the pitch. And he did it on occasion, but he didn't do it consistently. Not all his fault, because the balls that were being supplied to him were 12 foot up in the air, to be honest. So the way that we played, we didn't hold it up enough to be able to impact the game, apart from on 2, possibly 3 occasions in the first half where we had 2 really good chances.
Yeah, well, there was a good chance. We'll go through bits and bobs. I haven't got much chuck on the screen because we'll just go through what everyone thinks in the comments and what me and Paul think. We'll just drop everything in here. So just keep putting your stuff up in the comments and I'll keep saying what you're saying with us. You could sit straight from the off. Someone's just said there about Man United very good at home. There was. We didn't downgrade this Man United team, did we? When we spoke about them in the pre-match, we knew they could be good. And I was a little bit right here because I actually said, I hate to say I'm right, but I said to put Maguire in, didn't I? Because he's good in the air, and they didn't. Yeah,
we said that they've got Sevilla on Tuesday. So there may be changes for them.
Yeah.
Not so many changes that Rashford didn't play. But yeah, it was very much the same side apart from 2 changes at the back. One which was forced for them with Luke Shaw being off. And Maguire coming in.
It's just, oh, look, Rashford gets injured for the next game because he come off injured, didn't he? We could have done with him injured against us.
When all the damage had been done, then a couple of them end up pulling up injured. But
well, we're on this first half. They're coming at us. Everyone's tweeting. It's only a matter of time. Alan Mears has tweeted. It's only a matter of time. All my regulars that I know are saying it's only a matter of time. Did you think it's only a matter of time the way we started? Because it was a bit. We attacked. They attacked more. We attacked. They attacked a lot more, and that's literally the way it was at the start. And you feel like we're riding our luck, but we can't go like this all game with how much they was attacking us, because Man United was really, they was very clever, weren't they? They found that long ball that just killed us. It made Godfrey look rubbish. It really did. And I'm not saying Godfrey is rubbish, but I'm saying they really did make Godfrey look weak this game with the long balls. They was really good and direct, better than what I thought they'd be.
Yeah, well, what tended to happen is that every time we were caught with one of those long balls into our left back area or over the top of it, we'd move forward as a side. So actually, they were really quick in playing the ball over the top, and we had a really high line when we could really. But those balls that went over the top for Anthony to go through twice was when we were actually getting into their area or into our attacking third. So they just moved it quickly. It was one pass into midfield and bang, they'd play it over the top. So it was something that we should have, it went over each time. It happened. I suppose you can either go back 5-10 yards and make sure that you're trying to get wide as well.
Hit you on the blurry part there. I was just going to. Sometimes people think I dodged the comments, but I will drop that one. It's gone a little bit blurry for 2 seconds on you. Then someone told me we would win 3-1, and I knew he would call me out on that. But yeah, I generally thought Man United wasn't as good as they were, and I thought we'd be better than what we was, and that's the best I can say. Man United played well, and so I'm not a stupid fan. I'll put my hands up when I say it. I did not think Man United would turn up like that. They passed the ball really well. They didn't. They were strong when we tried to not loft the ball up, and they was just so fast and direct with the passes. Even with, I didn't think they'd be so direct and play the good balls that Man U did with McTominay and the defenders that they had. I didn't think they would, but they shocked me. They really did. And They played well, and they deserve. Like I say, we'll go through the game, but they deservedly won. Just back to that comment, everything Everton's just said. We missed Decore big time. No drive in the team yesterday. I do think Decore leads the line, and I said straight away we missed Decore massively. We really, really did. It just showed how good he's been with how he was without him. I mean, the formation. I don't. Someone said something about Sims here. Sims needs to be given a chance at home, being hung out to dry with his last 3 starts. He's got all the worst games, hasn't he, Paul? He has got all the worst games because this was not a good game for him because this was the game where you needed to play Gray and Gray get back and help these midfielders because these are that good. That's generally how I see it. Having a striker up there was something that we needed to be backing on midfield because we were struggling.
Yeah, I think the biggest miss was a consistent 3 in the middle. Because that gave Man United so much time, particularly when we were defending, they were coming into our half. That's where all the space tended to be. And when Man United had the ball around our area as well, we were almost missing someone like Decore to just be that defensive minded and block 1 or 2 of those through balls that then created chances for them. Because with having Gray a forward player and Sims a forward player, it could have worked different. It could have worked different, to be fair, because we did create a couple of good chances. Probably our best move of the game was where Sims scuffed it wide of the far post. We also created good chances to get some free kicks in there, which was like the one where Anana's header. That was our other good chance in the first half. One of those it's the same old story, isn't it, really? We create 2 or 3 good chances first half. And in most of the games, we've not taken those chances when we needed to. And it comes back and bites us in the second half.
But it was a good chance by Sims and Dyche. He said that in the interviews, didn't he? I will keep dropping your comments and read them out. We did play high up. We did play an attacking formation. I think me and Paul said he wouldn't dare us to do this, and he did. So we were shocked. I think all you in the comments would have been shocked he did this as well, because at times it was a 4-4-2, and Flash put it down as a 4-4-2. But yeah, we did get that chance with Sims. They probably had 3-4 chances, and all of a sudden we got 1. And if we scored, it would go 1-0 up, and you'd say it would have dented Man United a little bit and changed the game completely if Sims scored that goal. That's what Dyche said. You're probably looking at a different game if he did. And he's just dragged it, Ante. I think he's felt the pressure on that. It's nothing like his other goal.
Felt massive pressure. He probably thought, how the hell have I got to the edge of the 6-yard box here?
He's played the 1-2, hasn't he?
Yeah. But that movement and that quick passing showed that we were, I think, as a side, we were fairly confident. I think it drained gradually throughout the game. I think we came out confident. I know the number of chances might suggest otherwise, but when we've got the ball at our feet, we are passing it quite quickly and trying to keep that ball. It's just that eventually, when we run out of space, because Man United actually played quite high as well, and their pressure game sort of on our defenders was good as well. So eventually, when we've had to play it forward, say from our right hand side position, Coleman's played it forward, or Tarks or Keane have played it forward, it's then not been a great ball into Sims. And so, really
sloppy, wasn't it, with our passing this game?
It's hard. He's not up against bad defenders. They're strong defenders. And to be fair, the ones that you would think for Man U who might not be their absolute best players all played well on the day as well, because they're full of confidence. So like someone said before, it's a side in the top 3 or 4 playing a side in the bottom 3 or 4. And they didn't crumble. They did what there was expected of them, and we gave it a good enough go, but we just couldn't make the ball stick.
No, it was really sloppy. I don't know what you think, but I seen someone tweet, because Gray put a story up saying he woke up at 9 o'clock for the game at 12:30, and I'm not even joking. 9 o'clock. I'm not normally the strict one. I said last time they can do what they want, but they did play like they was half asleep, like they'd just woken up. They didn't have that where we've seen this Everton team against other teams come out all guns fighting, like say that Decore fight that leads to the line and that tackle that leads to the line, they didn't have that. They didn't. What? This is the first game in a while, which I'm not massively concerned about because it's the first in a while because we've had the fight in the last 4. It's been the first game where I thought they didn't try that game because I looked at Godfrey and Godfrey. That run of Anthony a couple of times, Anthony's got the ball and Godfrey could catch him up, but it seems like he's not arsed and he doesn't try and catch him up until he has to. It's like he's delayed, and a lot of the stuff all over the pitch was sloppy and delayed. I mean, one goal in the second half, which we'll talk about, Onana, that was delayed as well. It was very lazy for me all over the park. Now, this has not been the Everton that we've been talking about in the other games because they have been fighting, like we said, minute 1 all the way to 94. And this team didn't have to fight for me today. And they're disappointed. That's one thing that did disappoint me, Paul.
I think they had it in them, but again, it looks worse because you're playing against a side who are very confident, and kept the ball very well. And playing against lads who are young, fast, skillful, Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, as soon as they got the ball, it made us look slow, but that just because they are fast. Man United actually just picked out the better passes than we did. There was times when we did actually break forward into their half where there was a couple of options. You thought, go on, pass it now or feed it now. And it was just that last ball, possibly. I think it just makes us look worse because they were so much better.
Yeah, and they didn't protect the ball either, did they? I think you made a very good point earlier on where you said a lot of them attacking us come from us trying to attack. Like we pushed and pressed and we tried to attack them, and then all of a sudden it left us with one-on-ones all at the back because we're trying to attack because we've gone for it. And obviously Sean Dyche has gone for it, as people are saying in the comments. And when we've gone for it and we've put the numbers up top, it leaves you one-on-one on every player at the back. Now, one-on-one Rashford with Tarkowski or Keane, he's going to have a field day, isn't he? Rashford is against them. And even Anthony with Godfrey, which we wouldn't have expected. I don't think Godfrey played well, and this is the reason why, because Anthony should not be beating Godfrey like he did. But even Godfrey struggled on that one-on-one. And it was just so simple because they just think, Man United think, right, we'll let you attack. You're not doing that well on your attack because we wasn't. We'll lose the ball, give it to them easily. And they're just one long ball all the time. And that's how we got caught a couple of times. And I thought to myself, because it was at one point before they scored, we had a corner and we're going for it on the corner because we did look a threat. We did go for the game. And that's one thing you've got to give Sean Dyche. We did go out to win at the start. But I did feel that they're going to catch us out on the counter-attack. Did you feel like that as well? That we're going to get caught here?
Well, especially when you saw how high we were. And it wasn't as if they were giving anyone 10 yards on the halfway line. We were literally on the halfway line. So that when we've lost the ball or we've mislaid a pass on the edge of their area, it's been a ball into Fernandez or it's been a ball into Sabitzer, and then they've launched it over the top. So, I mean, there was at least 2 chances for Anthony where Pickford saves both. You've got Rashford as well. I think Keane was probably 5-10 yards, maybe too far in terms of the pass. So he tries to get a head on it, flicks it back, Rashford going through again. So we didn't sort of learn our lesson, and we got away with it. We got away with it those times. And the goals that we actually... the goal that we conceded in the first half wasn't actually anything to do with that kind of play. They'd kept the ball on the edge of the area. We got people back. We defended well. And the first goal itself...
Did my head in. Was you angry? Like, just clear the ball. Just get your foot through it. It's like pinball, isn't it?
I mean, it was like...
stuck in the mud, wasn't it? It was like all the feet were stuck in the mud.
It was like anyone who sort of played if you play with your mates on a weeknight or something like that, there's always one player you can't get the ball off, and you think, oh, sorry, that's my cat.
The cat's got it. His cat stuck his screen. No, his cat stole the show. I see it. I didn't even know he had a cat, but his cat's just stole the show. He'll be back in a minute. I was just going to share the message. You're right. We was just talking about that, and Pickford did save us, and I think we was pressing high, but Pickford was making too many saves, and you think to yourself, these are good saves, but if they do hit it right, he ain't going to be able to save some shots that they do. And the cat stole the show there. Richo, he's just said happy birthday to Joe Royale yesterday, 74. Happy birthday. Completely agree on that one. Jamie's here. Yeah, your cat was class then, wasn't it? Stole the show.
I should have seen it coming. I should have dropped off 10 yards to make sure that she didn't get away with it.
It was good. It made me laugh then. I knew exactly what you. I didn't know you had a cat, and then when I seen it, I was like, "Whoa!" It's took the show. By the way,
I've got two actually. Yeah.
I've got a dog. You got two cats. By the way, there's
Blue and Bell. Go on.
Sorry. There's 30. Well, quite a few people on. That's going up now in numbers. Look, if you can hit the like button, it just puts us around a bit more because I've just started this up. You know, the channel's just the new thing. Hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I mean, I should say it more, because I want this channel to grow and get more people that give it a listen. So, yeah, plenty on tonight. With it being Easter, everyone must got the beers and want to have a listen. But, yeah, was just saying Pickford's making loads of saves. And you think to yourself, eventually, he can't save one. He's not a robot, although he was playing incredible Jordan Pickford. And then the Scrappy was just talking about it. They couldn't clear it. Like you said, 5-a-side, that one play, you can't get the ball off. Yeah. And then McTominay scores. He knocks it in. What time was it? Was it 37 or something like that?
Yeah. And I mean, the thing was, we put in 3 strong tackles on the edge of the box. I think Anana got at least 2 in. I think Garner got 1 in as well. And then the ball goes across to Sancho, and nothing complicated about it. They just had a midfielder running into the area, which was McTominay, and we don't have. Generally, certainly against sides in the top 5 or 6, we don't have those times and occasions where we can sit on the edge of their box and pass it around and someone runs through and finds stuff like that, like they did. So it was frustrating that in a situation where we generally do quite well, we got away with the other ones, but we didn't get away with that.
It's just the Blues has just kind of said similar to you. That was unlucky. The ball just kept landing in. It is one of them, isn't it? Where when it does keep bouncing about like that, everything's going their way on the bounce, and we want to get a foot through it, and we just can't clear it. And that's not the sort of look you need. So they score. McTominay's running around, and I still think to myself, I'm thinking now when they've scored, just getting at half-time 1-0, because this half isn't good enough. I'm thinking like we started it good. We had a few chances Sims should have scored, but they're dominators, and I just think getting at half time and we need to come out and something needs to change second half at 1-0, because we've all got in our heads that we can come back from 1-0 because we come back against Chelsea and we come back against Spurs. So we have got in our heads at half time that we can come back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we said that. One of the things that I mentioned on Friday was that game plan, especially away against top sides, is that I know, yeah, thanks. Is that you want to be in the game after an hour. You want to be still in the game after 70 minutes. And work not bad in the first even down.
Speaker's gone there. 2 seconds. I'll remove you and put you back in. 2 seconds. Just going to drop some more comments. Keep dropping your comments, because this is a night where I just want all your opinions, because I'm going to try and get you positive. It's only a quick one. We'll be hitting this on half an hour. We're already on half time. I haven't got loads of stuff to put on. I just want to boost you all back up and just have a little gathering now for Evertonians, because it's been really, really negative. And I just feel sometimes people just put it on them too much. That don't make yourself more stressed than what you need. And now I get this relegation battle are everything, and we need to stay up. But I just don't think you need to stress too much on a Man United winning at home with how much they've spent in the players they've got. I mean, some are having a complete meltdown over one game when we were beaten in 4 before it. We've got to keep everyone positive, haven't we, Paul?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got a decent squad. It's got depth. Casemiro's off for 3 games, but Sabitzer comes in, and he was one of the people that we identified on Friday as a lot of things go through him. And Fernandez as well. I mean, I don't know whether you remember first half. He's literally the furthest player back for them because they just had that space, that opportunity just to pass the ball around and then give the people who are their best passers, wherever they were on the pitch, the ball to start stuff off. But I mean, they had 21 attempts on goal first half.
It felt like it as well.
You know what I mean? We literally blocked 6 of them. We got away with some one-on-ones. We got away with, I mean, an open goal, Wan-Bissaka. I mean, the shot from Anthony, which you think, oh, well, it's right behind him. He's not really going to get any purchase on that. And it's Bigford's unsighted. It hits the post, comes back out. Wan-Bissaka should be passing it in, wobbles it past the post. We got away with that as well. So you think when we go in 1-0 at half time, we can still be in the game and we can still create a couple of chances. But in the second half, we didn't create the two chances like we did in the first half to be clear cut and get anything from the game.
Yeah, I just agree with you. And on the second half, what did you think of the second half? I mean, a few substitutions were made. I mean, I'm going to have to call Onana. I've got to talk about him because I get a bit of grief on Onana. I can't. Do you know what? I'm not saying Onana's played well, by the way. I know he hasn't played well in the last 3 games. I just want him to do well. That's all it is. But if you ask me if Onana played well against Man United, he was non-existent. He didn't turn up. I wasn't happy with his performance at all. I mean, I think if you play a game, you've got to show you there and show your personality. I don't know the reason. I don't know whether Dyche just told him to sit in the number 6. He did look deep a lot of the game, and Gana Gay looked a lot higher. But I don't know the reason. But Onana, he isn't doing well. But what I say is, don't hate on him too much because you will need him. He might just pop in and have a good game. We might need to stay up, and he can play shit the next 3 games, not turn up. But he could turn up in one game that keeps you up at the end when you need him the most. He could just be the hero. He could. So you just got to stick behind these players. But trust me, I'm fuming with Onana as well because I've spoken about him like a king, but I know he's not playing like one. He isn't playing that good. And like I say, just because I like Onana doesn't mean I say he's playing well because he didn't play well that game. And that's I've got to touch on Onana, I'd say. That's my point.
He's good though. I mean, you can tell he's going to be an absolute force in the next sort of 2, 3, 4 years. And we're talking about a game where we switched. It looked as though we switched formation when we've gone 4-4-1-1, maybe with Gray behind Sims. If you're doing that, you're taking one of those 3 out the middle against arguably the second best side, third best side in the league at the moment, who play ball really well. So in some ways, him and Ghana, particularly Onana, was overloaded, if you like, because Gray isn't a defender. So you could tell that when United had the ball across sort of the middle of our half, Onana is in position, Ghana Gay's in position. Gray was always running back. And often, at least 3 times I can remember, he's gone to close someone down by running back and literally just slid right the way past him.
It's a big difference because we're normally playing a 4-5-1. And by the way, Gray's playing up front, who normally comes back and does a midfield is what he can do, defensive work in midfield. We've completely changed that, and we've got rid of. We ain't got Decore, and we've gone 4-4-2. So it's massive. We needed the 3 centre midfielders. We really do. I kind of fair play for Dyche for going for it, but I kind of wish he stayed with Gray up front. Nothing to do with Sims. If he play all Sims, Gray or Sims up front, and I wish he would have stuck with the 4-5-1 and had a midfielder and had the striker that comes and does work when he's not up top. Because I just generally, like you said, there was too much overload on Onana, Ghana Gay in that middle. We need 3 in the middle. We're not good enough for two centre midfielders, are we? We're generally not. It hurts us. It always does.
Yeah, well, like I said, to keep us in the game up to about 60, 70 minutes, I felt he would. I didn't think he would he would change an awful lot. I just thought it would be like for like. So Davies or James Garner coming in as a 3. Obviously, he didn't want to lose Gray. He wanted to keep us higher up the pitch. He wanted Sims to keep hold of the ball, and I think that's where it falls down. In hindsight, if he knew that Sims wasn't going to be as successful, he probably would have had the 3, and then come the 70 minutes, then change it. You know, if we were 1 down at that point, then Sims would then be the person to come on.
He just tried it, and I think Sims against Maguire. Maguire's well known for strong into, so I just think Maguire did him a little bit, didn't he? I don't like to say it, but
I mean, on the switch, you know, he's gone for that. He's maybe thought, well, actually, we create quite a lot in the first half. If we can just take our chances, and so he's played Sims with Gray behind him, and then thought, well, if we can get a lead, if we can get level, and we're still that on the hour, on the 70-minute mark, then we rearrange it, and that's when we throw our 3 in the middle of the pitch. And you know,
what did you think of the subs? Because he brought Davis and James Garner on.
Legs, really. I think Garner Gay just defending didn't affect the game an awful lot. Just put his foot in, did all right. You know, didn't do.
Davis got on the ball, but I see a lot of people say Davis. I think Davis can do well. I think everybody can do well behind him, but I just think when players come on and the game's already won, they are going to get on the ball a lot more because the game's already won. Man United have already won it, and Davis probably will get on the ball a bit more. It's very confusing who to go for in the middle of the park. I just read Paul's comment. Dash won't allow another not so good performance because he's a perfectionist, and Fulham will get the backlash. Trust me. I like Paul. To be fair, Paul's quite positive just lately, isn't he? He's putting some. Hello, Paul. Thanks for coming on. Some good comment there. Any positivity? That's what I want on my channel. That's what we do, isn't it? But we've got to get us back. Some people talking about Leeds, Forest, Southampton are better than also. So chill. Yeah, everyone's keeping us good. I'll keep dropping those sort of comments on to. But we'll just finish on their goal. They scored because we're not going to talk too much about this game because we move on from it. I generally don't.
Yeah,
they were attacking loads, and then who did we talk about in the pre-match? Who did I say?
You did, and as soon as
I knew he was going to score.
As soon as he came on, I said to myself, Dan said Martial always scores.
I knew. I honestly knew Martial would score. And I said, I hope they don't start him because he'll score. And I knew Martial has got that thing against Everton. He's done it to me so many times. And he's like, who's the one for Liverpool that used to score against us? No, the striker. The one that... Origi. That's who he's like. Martial is like Origi. I'm not even joking. He is because... Origi was the same, wasn't he, against us? You just knew, even if they brought him on 90th minute, he'd score in 2 minutes. And Martial is the same. I just knew when he'd come on, he'd score. But like I say, it wasn't a game where we played well. We wasn't in it.
No,
and the performance wasn't there for us to win it. United had turned up. They were at home. They turned up. And we can't just think we're supposed to beat United. We've got to hope that we try to. But that United team are probably thinking the same about us. They're probably looking at us and saying we should beat Everton. So you've got no, like I always say, you've got no given right to say you should win every game. And if we're not on it, the problem with our players at the minute, because they've got some big players and we've got good players, but not the best. If our players ain't on it, there it is. If our players ain't on it 100%,
let's come down. Come on. You're right.
Then it wants to get in.
He does, because his sister got in before.
There you go.
He wants to type in his own comment, I think. I mean, the thing is as well, we actually, stats-wise, we had more goal attempts in the second half than United. I mean, only one of them was on target. But, they really slowed it down second half, I thought, and just waited for their opportunity. And the second goal, obviously, it's gone over under Coleman's foot, and then they've got in. If you look at the 2 goals that we've conceded, a pass under pressure and a mistake that they've latched onto. Again, there's many positives that we have to, even though it sounds daft, we have defended really well. There was no cross coming in that wasn't defended. There was plenty of blocks on shots on the edge of the area. We just didn't keep the ball in the best positions to create as much as we wanted.
That was the big problem. We kept giving them the ball back too easy. You've got to, when we've got the ball, you've got to do everything you can to keep it. One thing I will talk about, and the good thing is, people in the comments tell me what you think on this as well, because I've had the video sent to me by the referees officials. Now I haven't really, but I've had the video sent to me for real. That Coleman, I know you told me if you'll gladly say if you don't agree. I think that Coleman thing was a red card, you know.
Go on, remind me.
McTominay, Coleman's on the floor lying down. McTominay's need him in the back. I've got the video now, but I can't put stuff on my Twitter because of the rules. But McTominay has need him in the back, and then the ball's there, and he's completely kicked Coleman. But this is the thing, because Coleman has got that thing about Harry Kane last game in his head. Coleman doesn't want to make nothing of him because he knew how frustrated we was when we got a player sent off. Yeah. So Coleman's gone up to McTominay, cuddling him, calming him down. Now, this is where I'm contradictory. I said I don't like people trying to get players sent off, but when we're nearly getting relegated, I'm now thinking to myself, Coleman, don't cuddle McTominay when he's about to smack you, because McTominay had completely lost the plot. You know, he's kicked him twice on the floor. Now, I don't think you can kick someone twice on the floor on VAR. I really don't. And I got the video, the Coleman video with McTominay. Yeah. And he really does just kick him twice. Now, what's your opinion on this in the comments, and Paul? Because I just think that's a red card. I really do. I'll send you the video, don't worry. But I definitely think if you watch it, he's kneed him first of all without the ball there, and then kicked him after. By the way, it wasn't even a yellow card.
He didn't get a yellow, did he?
He didn't get a yellow card, and the officials didn't even show it like that long. I think they literally went through it as fast as they can. I don't think it even went to VAR either, which is stupid. In my opinion.
I think what's happened is that where Coleman's trying to keep hold of the ball, shield the ball, he's getting shoves behind him by McTominay. Coleman's gone down to one knee. And eventually gone down. Referee's given the free kick.
Yep.
And McTominay's just hit the ball through his legs and then booted the ball while Coleman's on top of it, which wasn't needed at all. I think if that's the other way, that's like a home and away, one of those kind of issues. I think if we're playing United at home, exact same things happen. I think McTominay gets a booking.
If Coleman does a Harry Kane, I'm telling you, freaking McTominay gets sent off. I'm not even joking. If Coleman, when McTominay's lost the plot like that because he needs him in the back, if Coleman does a Harry Kane and grabs him, McTominay will get sent off in that incident.
I think if it was the other way around as well, if it was maybe not Coleman, but say, Coleman does it against Anthony, for example. Anthony's rolling on the floor. He's going to roll on the floor. Coleman's going to get booked. It's one of those where home advantage is going to do it for you, or over-egging it. The Easter reference.
Just frustrating me. And the fact Coleman's gone up to him. This shows, Paul, that they didn't have the fighting spirit for me this game, because normally you get Tarkowski running in. Normally you get all the players running in. And for Coleman to be hugging McTominay after he's kicked him twice on the floor, that's not the normal Coleman. He's obviously got the Kane incident in his head. He has. And I just think, we was too respectful for Man United. I really do. I got the video, and honestly, when you watch it, Paul, one of them's without the ball. He needs him in the back first. Yeah, and the reason that McTominay's done it is because he thinks Coleman's, because I've heard him say, get up like that. He thinks Coleman's gone down too easy to get the free kick. So he's kicked him twice. Yeah. Now, if someone has gone down easy, you can't kick them twice for diving. You can't just kick someone twice for diving. I just think it's crazy. I really do. And it frustrated me. But you probably all think different. He doesn't, Dan. He's lying on top of the ball. Not the same as hitting someone. No, I'll send you the video of the Blues. I'll send it on my Twitter. But yeah, there's always something that grates me in the game, and that just grated me. I just think we've shown them too much respect. I mean, me and you talked about Godfrey crunching Anthony and taking him out of the game. We didn't. He respected him. And I really don't feel like we had to fight this game. But it was one game. and it was United at their ground. And I'm hoping that we're up for it to next game. I'm just dropping a comment there.
Well, we said as well, didn't we? We said that this wasn't going to be particularly the game that we would start a run on. Without jinxing anything, the next 4 games are a chance for us to get those 2 wins in a row, and that's what we're after. Every team down there is after 2 wins in a row, because if you get them, then you're going to throw yourself up at least 4 places, and have a little bit more confidence about where you are.
That's what I completely agree. This is what you've got to do. This is why we do this channel. We are not the negative toffees. We're not the miserable ones. We boost ourselves back up. And Paul already, he's playing against frigging Fulham already. Look, he's already got his team.
Paul's on the pitch with his
Paul's already at Fulham waiting for the kickoff. He don't give a crap about this Man United game. He's already at the pitch. And that's what I said. This is what I said on my Twitter feed. Don't overdo it. Don't just want to moan about something. It happened. We lost. I mean, Man United lost 7-0 against Liverpool. It happens. We lost 2-0. It's not the biggest loss. I mean, we've just seen Crystal Palace smash Leeds. What score was that? 4-1, was it?
5-1.
5-1. Southampton spanked Man City spanked Southampton. Haaland got a hat-trick as usual, just a normal thing. Yeah. So teams do get beat, and I really do fancy us against Fulham. We all got to just stick together. I'll put the league table up now.
Well, I mean, the reason that teams are down there is because they're inconsistent.
Exactly,
we're inconsistent. How often do we win 2 games in a row? It doesn't happen very often, particularly this season. So they've all got to play each other. We've all got to play each other, and so teams are going to drop points, and it's just going to be a little bit of a yo-yo for most teams down in that situation for the next few weeks.
Well, we're very lucky that we've got some good fixtures coming up now. Now, no game's easy, but I do fancy us against Fulham. I really do. And like you say, most teams are inconsistent at the bottom, but we'd put 4 undefeated games together before that one, and it was against Man United, and we lost against Man United. I just think people melt down too much just because we lost against Man United at home. We're not going to win every game to stay up this season. It's never going to happen. It really isn't. Now, here's the league table. I haven't got Crystal Palace in. I didn't put them in it, and I wish I did, because they're only, I think, 2 more points above Wolves.
Yeah, Palace are on 33. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Palace fans celebrating, saying we're not going down and all Leeds are going down, but they're not they're not out of it yet.
Yeah, they can get dragged in, but we'd all rather be in Palace's position than where we are right now.
Yeah. They've managed to do well with the new manager bounce. I didn't think it would happen, but he's coming and they've had a little bit of a bounce. But if they go on to not win the next 2-3 games, they can end up back in this bottom line where we are.
Yeah, the thing is as well, we've got this thing of playing first at the moment, and then that changes. Thankfully, that kind of changes at the next weekend. But knowing that we would be a game ahead of everybody after those results come in, and we're still not in the bottom 3, then you would have thought that before they played their games. To be honest,
well, I keep saying Leicester. They'll be all right, because I love Barnes. I wanted Barnes to play for Everton left wing, and I think he's class. And Maddison, I think he's absolutely class as well. And I kept thinking, because I always think Leicester, that they won the league, not far from but they was doing really well. Like, if you looked at them 3 seasons ago, we probably would have said when they was playing well, and I think they won the FA Cup or something like that, you would have said Leicester was pushing for top 6. And Leicester generally did think they was becoming like on the verge of being a Champions League team. And you look at them now, and I just can't get used to Leicester being this bad. And I've always said they'll pull away from us, so don't expect Leicester to be there, but they are staying there, ain't they?
I think Leicester, in some ways, are similar to us in the fact that they had a strong side. I mean, it was 2016 they won the league. Do you know what I mean? So we're talking 7 years ago this year. And it doesn't take any time to suddenly drop into the bottom half. There's been plenty of sides who've who've won the league or finished second, who are, at least 10 places below where they think they should be. And what we've done, the same as what Leicester have done, is that we've bought poorly. We've not had the players who have made the same impact as you're going back 7-8 years, as or even more, than Lukaku or Deulofeu when he was on the top, or Morales when he was doing his thing. And so they've bought poorly, same as we have, and they've had players who've come in and then gone again. So their best players, like Maddison, like Tielemans, like Barnes, like you say, they're few and far between, same as us. Who's our best player, and would our best player get in most of the sides above where we are? Maybe, don't know. It's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you say, they haven't signed anyone, have they, Leicester? But they've got Tielemans and Diddy. They've just got some good. I don't think they replaced. The big problem is they haven't got a good striker, have they? Really? I mean, Vardy's dipped now, hasn't he? And he isn't what he used to be. And then the other one, Nacho, whatever his name is, he don't play that much. He's hot and cold and not a starter.
They've got Iniacho, who's not been on form. You've got Vardy, who's been injured, but then out of favour with Rodgers. Obviously, Rodgers is gone now. You got Daka as well, who's lightning fast but can't hit cow's ass with a banjo. And we've got not enough going forward either. And I think the difference between us and Leicester is that we've brought in defensively better than they have.
Yeah.
No stat shows that really, apart from the 2 points. However, I'd rather have our 4 centre-backs ahead of the 2 centre-backs that they have.
But I'm glad you said that, Paul, because this is what I've been doing, and I always do it, and it's given me hope for Everton. I hope it does you lot in the comments as well, by the way. I always look at the defence, because when we was last season, a big part of us nearly getting relegated was our defence, because it was really bad. And I look at our defence and midfield. I know we haven't got the strikers, but I generally do feel we've got a better defence than Southampton. They've just took that Leicester defender back, and the whatever his name is. I think we've got a better defence than Leicester. Leicester signed that lad from the Championship, didn't they? But I still don't think they're doing that well in defence.
Well, they also sold Schmeichel. Do you know what I mean? They sold arguably their best player of last year.
Nottingham Forest, I feel we've got a better defence than. And I also feel Nottingham Forest, their big weakness is their centre midfield. I think they signed a lot of players, but they didn't get the right tackle in centre midfield, Nottingham Forest, for me.
Yeah.
So I feel stronger than these teams at the bottom. Leeds, definitely. I look at Leeds, they've got Cock, defence, and what's his name? Stroik Cock. They got them two. I don't think they're that good, and I think that's Leeds' big problem. I generally think Leeds would be a good team if they had a defence like ours.
Yeah,
but they haven't. I think the defence let them down. Bournemouth, they're just. One thing I will say about Bournemouth is that I feel they're going to dip. I know they're doing well and they're getting their results, and they are picking up results that none of us think. But I do think Bournemouth are going to decline a little bit and still be around this bottom. I do. Well, I don't.
That's a great result for them yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all obviously hoping for a draw, but, fair play to Bournemouth. I think they like their manager. I think they're behind their manager as much as we are behind Dyche, to be fair. O'Neill's shrewd, and he's been around the club for years, and he's well liked, and they want to play for him, and fair play to him, to be fair.
This is a mad manager. What do you think of this? People in the comments, I'm quite happy with this. We've got the clock watcher that's going to be manager for Leicester.
What is the clock
watcher? Yeah, the one that always looks at his watch, the American one from Leeds. Yeah, I call him the clock watcher. I do, because he always points to his watch. Yeah, March.
Jesse,
the clock watcher.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing as well. I mean, obviously, everyone in the bottom half, I think, apart from West Ham, have swapped their manager, Bournemouth, and a lot of them that have come in have been in this situation before. It's like the lad who used to. I mean, everyone's managed Watford, but I'm sure he used to manage Watford. Is it Garcia who's at one of the other ones? Who's at Leeds? Who's at Leeds now? You know, I think the thing to look at, and it's always the same way, is that look at the goal differences. You never have a side who have such a bad goal difference and aren't in the bottom 5. The teams with the worst goal differences are usually in the bottom 5. And at the moment, we've got -20, Forest -30. You know, like you say, Leicester -12. You've got Leeds who are -15. We're all much of a muchness. You know, it's -19 for Bournemouth. We're all much of a muchness, aren't we, at the moment? So it's that tight. It's that tight.
It's the closest I've seen a few people say, Paul and other people on my Twitter that I go on. It's the closest one I've ever known, and I generally believe it's going to be 2-3 teams that could go down on the last game. It's going to be that close. I hope we're not in it, but it is. I think we can get away from it. I do, but this is so close, and there's good teams at the bottom. Every one of those teams has got a bunch of good players in them. It's just who can be more consistent. That's what it's all about. Like you've said, it's consistency that's going to keep you up.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is as well, the fixtures that with this weekend.
What did I say? What did I say, Paul?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What did I say?
What about what?
I never know what I say. Sometimes I come off this and my partner says, "Oh, do you know what she said last time? You was talking about a pilot, thinking there was actually talking about planes, and there was talking about sexual positions, and you didn't even know." She goes, "You're talking about a plane. You're all on a plane," and she goes, "They're talking about you in the middle and one at front and one at back." That's what she said to me. She goes, "Did you not click?" She goes, "I thought you didn't click on because you put it on the screen." And I goes, "No, I just thought they was talking about planes." So no, I don't know what I say. Easter night laugh. Easter night fun.
You got to keep an eye on these comments. You got to keep
an eye. It's
been
sensible tonight. Jamie's been all right. He's been sensible
carefully,
tonight.
Jamie.
He must have got a bit of action because he's pretty calm today, although he's just put stroke my cock. I think he said, did I say that? Oh, stroking cock, not stroke my cock. Yeah, I get it now. I get it. Oh, love it.
I mean, the thing is, what we were saying is that the thing is, obviously, yesterday was one of our hardest games that we're going to have until the end of the season. But obviously, this weekend coming, we're in a position where actually we can cause a lot of damage to the other sides, if you like. If sort of the other fixtures that are coming out, Southampton and Palace play each other. Bournemouth are away at Spurs. Wolves are at home to Brentford, but Leicester are away at City. West Ham are at home to Arsenal. Forest are at home to United. Leeds are at home to Liverpool.
I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do it. I mean, I said I would be half an hour, but there's been quite a few people on, so I've kept it going for you because obviously you wanted someone to listen to Easter night. I'm just going to put it in now, and I'll ask you. No, you'll have it anyway. Our next 4 fixtures, I'm going to ask you what you think the results are going to be, and we'll finish on that. And people in the comments, you put as well, because I don't normally think ahead. I always say it's the next game that matters, but just for a bit of fun, flash our next 4 games. Have you got them there, Paul?
Yeah.
Faster than me. I'll just try and type it in. Yeah, our next 4 games, people in the comments, we'll finish it on this. This is just a good Everton little hub. We've got to keep it nice and fun and positive. We can stay up. Don't worry about that. We're going to do it. Our next 4 games, you tell me, Paul, what they are and what you think the results are going to be. And of course, it would freeze when I ask that question. Let me just get this down 2 seconds. People in the comments as well. He's going to say the next 4 games. And you say what you think they're going to be the next 4 games. We'll finish on that. So we'll read the 4 games out.
There we go. So, so Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Kickoff on. I mean, that's one that we're all looking at as a win. And I think we can. I think it might even be a dodgy 1-0, but that's one of the ones that we have to win going forward, I would have thought. Palace the week after on the Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Yeah. Not a great record.
A harder game now, isn't it? After the way they played this time.
Yeah, yeah. I think you'd see that as a draw, not being a bad result, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, Leeds go there, and well, Leeds go there. Leeds get hammered 5-1. Leeds were at home, weren't they, today?
So you've got Everton win, Everton draw against Palace at home,
Yeah.
Everton Newcastle. What have you got? People
You
in the
know what?
comments, do you put what you think on this as well?
Yeah,
Like the four games.
we're daft enough to win that 1-0, aren't we?
Oh, did you see Anthony Gordon? Oh my days! I done a big tweet. He's finished. You know he is.
He won't be in that game.
He's finished. He's gonna be I'm not even joking. He's gonna be a finished footballer. Anthony Gordon is. Yeah. Well, what could, his ego at Everton was like that, and his ego's like that at Newcastle. I mean, where does he go if he falls out with Newcastle that bad? Where does he go after that?
No.
You imagine if you're a manager now of another team, say Newcastle don't want him, because if he does that to Eddie Howe won't. I've played football before, and I know if you fall out with a manager, he won't play you, and you'll just fall out more and more and more, and they'll get rid of you. That's what happens in football. The grudge stays; it doesn't go away.
He's not a definite starter, is he, for him?
So, no. He's messed things up for him there. He ain't a big enough character to be having a kickoff like that and think he's going to be okay. That was just stupid by Anthony Gordon.
If he does play against us, I think he's going to get sent off.
He could get. I'd try and get him sent off as well. So Everton versus Newcastle. What are you going for?
I don't even think he'll turn up for the game, to be honest.
It
is a game daft enough that we would actually win it 1-0. I think we'd draw at best. Newcastle absolutely flying. They're a different side than last year.
So you're going to draw. They've got some good players, Newcastle. I mean, we've got this big rivalry, but I generally don't really care about Newcastle that much because they've got some good players. They have. I don't like Anthony Gordon, but other than that, I wouldn't have a problem with them that much. No. They seem to have a massive one with us. And then the last game. So people in the comments, put what you think on this. I'm asking Paul, the first game, Everton, Fulham, what you think the results are going to be in the next four. So Everton, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Everton, Newcastle, and then Leicester, Everton. Paul's got to... So you're on... Paul said a win, Everton, Fulham, we're going to win. He said a draw against Crystal Palace, a draw against Newcastle. And you're on the last game now, Leicester versus Everton, Leicester at home.
I think this is our next away win. I really do. That's a Monday night 8:00 kickoff. I just think, by law of averages, for crying out loud, we're due another away win at some point, and that will be the one that we'll actually do. I don't see it at Palace. I just think Palace are in a bit of a run, good at attacking. It'll be harder for us, but Leicester, I just see us beating them. So we're talking. I mean, what I've said there, we're talking 8 points.
Would you take that there? What Paul's just said, same as you, 8 points, but he's gone beat Fulham, Palace draw, Newcastle we win, and we draw against City. So he's just gone the other way around on one of the draws wins.
Of course. I mean, 8 points from that it'd be amazing, and we are optimistic. We are positive. You know, so it would be a surprise because of basically what we've been doing, but it's not out of the realms of possibility.
7 points there. Look, by the Blues, he's just said 7 points.
I mean, the one not to
7 points by Jamie.
The one not to lose would be the Leicester one, because, and like you're saying, Palace fans are quite happy where they are at the moment.
But I said that we've got the easier games, but now I'm looking at them and thinking,
no.
I'm thinking Crystal Palace need to win, otherwise they're back down there. Yeah. Newcastle, they'll want to win to get that Champions League spot. And then Leicester, they need to win because they're below us, and no game is easy there. So I take it back. It's game on, isn't it? It is game on.
That set of 4 games there, in some ways, are similar to our last 4 games. Away against one of the top 6 sides, home against one of the top 4 sides, and then a home and away game against teams who are around us. So if you can not lose and at least win one of your games against teams around you, then you can be positive.
That's why I always do one game at a time, because I've just put 4 games in front of me, and it becomes 4 scary. Where you break every game down, it's simpler. Now, if you just put one team in front of me, I could take on any one of those teams. I think we can do well. Like Crystal Palace, I think we can do well. Leicester, I think we can do well. Fulham, I think we can do well. But you put them all against you, it makes it more scary. So that's why I always say one team at a time. James just said like the positivity. Paul said 8 points. You said 8 points as well, Paul. I think we're just going to win every game. You know what I'm like. Every single point.
I mean, I just had a little look at Forest's fixtures going forward, just because they're the one in that 3rd place, if you like. I mean, ideally, Southampton and Leicester continue to do poorly. They fill up those 2 spaces. It's about who's getting that 3rd space potentially. And Forest are below us at the moment. Their next games, they're at home to Man United. They're away to Liverpool. They're at home to Brighton. They're away to Brentford. Do you know what I mean? They're shockers. They've still got to play Chelsea and Arsenal. They were away against Palace last day, and they've got games against Southampton and who else? Southampton and no, that's it. Another game against Southampton. So they've got a shocking running in terms of the teams that they're playing. They're playing against sides mainly who are either Liverpool or Chelsea, or making sure that they're in that top 4 position.
Well, I don't know whether you agree with me. Normally, you get a bottom of the table, a safe, and a top of the table. You get a safe zone, don't you? Which is normally probably about 12th to, I don't know, what, 9th or something like that. You get a safe zone. This season, it's 2 zones. It's relegation battle or trying to get top 4. So every game's hard because teams like Chelsea onwards, they're all trying to get Europa League.
Yeah.
And then downwards, they're all trying to stay up. That's the way the table is this season. So game, you're not playing anyone in that safe zone that's got nothing to play for this season.
No, it's because some of those sides who are in mid-table are expected to get top 4, 6. And so they've got lots of pressure on them still to get in those positions. If it was filled up with, I mean, obviously there are 1 or 2 in there, the likes of Fulham. But if it was filled in the middle with Brighton and Brentford, and I don't know, maybe one other, they wouldn't be bothered, just be happy with their lot, wouldn't they? And they would basically just wander through the rest of the season. But because Chelsea and Liverpool are in there, they're expected. So there's pressures on their managers or even their new managers, you know. So
it's got I get a lot of visuals. Oh, they make me laugh. It's all good. Love the banter in the comments. Keep it coming always. We like to have a bit of banter in this. It's a good little get together. Have a bit of fun. Get the beers out and have a bit of fun. I think we'll wrap this up now. I mean, I said 30 minutes, Paul, but I like talking to you that much. We've gone and end up an hour, and I've took all your time up now. But
good.
We when you go into all the other teams, there's a lot to talk about on because we've talked about every team in the relegation battle. There's a lot to talk about on that, but I just thought put a little twist on, talk about that because that is the situation. Yeah. And there's been plenty on, so I've carried it on for you because I want you lot to have a good night and a bit of something to listen to because probably no spaces, and I thought I'll give you something to listen to. But yeah, we're all positive. Do you know what? Honestly, Paul, I felt like, and I'm not even joking, I don't know how you lot feel in the comments. This isn't a big channel, but it's a good little group of people. And I felt like shit before I come on. I couldn't even be arsed. And I feel better now. Yeah. I do, honestly. Yeah. Before I come on, because I just got that many miserable people that was making Everton's result worse than what it was on my Twitter. And there was just getting at players, and I couldn't be arsed. I thought we lost against Man U, get over it. And I thought I couldn't be bothered but we've come on, we spoke positive, we're moving on to the next game, we're gonna stay up, and we've talked about Everton pretty decent, and I do believe we can do it, and I don't think that Man U result is going to define us. By the way, these are some big games now. We're not staying up if we don't fight to stay up, and we need to bring back that fight this next game. That they are my words. We generally do. Max just said cracking streams tonight, lads. Love it, Dan and Paul. Thanks, mate. It means a lot. Honestly, we're trying to make it grow with people in the comments as well, because that's our plan. That's the way why I started this up. Just a little, instead of all going to the pub together, we'll go on my channel together. That's the way it is. But yeah, and Paul's the main man on this now as well. It's basically our channel, not mine. But yeah, I'm glad you've all come on. And we'll any positive words, Paul, before we go for this next game?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got a week off, if you like. It's all Europe and all that nonsense throughout the week. There's no other Premiership games until Saturday, so you can almost put it out of your mind, if you like, and just look positive towards Sean having his press conference on Thursday or Friday, where he tells us that everyone's fit and everyone's ready and we're raring to go. And we're all positive for Saturday.
Love it. And just don't, this is what I will say, is don't forget that Man U performance. When we go into this next game, Fulham game, don't bring up how someone played in that Man U game. Don't bring up that Man U game. Just forget it. Blank it off. Think about the Arsenal game where we beat Arsenal and Liverpool couldn't beat Arsenal today. Think about that game. Think it's the positive stuff that will keep us up. It's getting behind these players and then wanting them to be the best they can be and then believing the best that they can be the best they can be to stay up. So let's just be positive, and we can do this. Honestly, we'll be this group here, you in the comments, me and Paul, we're going to celebrate Everton staying up, and this time we're going to make changes so we're not in a relegation battle again, but we're going to do it. We just stick together and we'll do this. I really do believe it.
Very true. You said it best, mate. Saturday's going to be rocking. Everyone's going to be doing their job. And Saturday.
It's our house, isn't it? It's the old lady. It's our house. Fulham are coming to our house to get the points, and we ain't going to let them. We ain't. We're good at these home games. We can do it. I really do believe in us this game.
It'd be good. Looking forward to Friday. We can dissect it. And on Sunday, we can celebrate it.
We'll get everything pumping Friday for the game. Looking forward to it. Thanks, everyone, for coming on. I hope you all had a banging Easter. And I'm surprised how many have come on with it being Easter. But yeah, thanks for all coming on. Like and subscribe. I'll say it again. Hit the like and subscribe, and then we'll get more Evertonians on this channel. And you can bump into more and be friends with more Evertonians. I love it. Paul, thanks for coming on. I will drop the brand now. Everyone have a boss night. A few more beers if you need a few more. Probably drunk enough anyway. But have a boss Easter. Everyone love it.